It's the best time of the week, time to listen to the Three Brothers. Forget your garlic and your leeks and listen to the Three Brothers. It's fat-free, sugar-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and free from gluten and priestcraft too. If you click this accidentally, stick around, you might learn a thing or two. Chuck on a shirt, tie and shorts, and crack yourself a brew without any further ado. We are coming at you. Three brothers, juxtapositions, and midnight ramblings for sure. Three brothers, don't forget you get what you pay for. Three brothers, so come on down, don't even worry about it anymore. Three brothers.
Probably too high. Hello, Three Brothers. Hello and welcome. Are we recording, by the way? Did we actually click? We did. Okay. We are live. We are not live, but we are recording. And welcome, everybody, to your favorite or least favorite Three Brothers. I'm Topher. There's Topher, Ammon, and Micah. We are your least favorite Three Brothers. It's good to have you here. Welcome. We love doing this, and we appreciate you being here with us. Let me do my little audio thing that I do, and we'll get straight into it, people. A succulent Chinese podcast.
And if you've clicked on this link by accident, stick around.
Oh, yeah.
How did we do from me to you? I wanna follow up.
Yeah, good call. If you click this link by accident, how? Firstly, welcome and around.
Ow!
But how? How and why? All right. Let's follow up, people. The commitment from last week was to do not participate in, support, or share priestcraft material and be a watchman against it this week. So, firstly, how did we do with that? And then how did we do just in general with how was that? How was your week?
I liked that Lego video. I don't know how you did that. I don't know if that was Iranian AI, Micah?
Yeah, it was Iranian AI for sure. Yep. That was literally us fulfilling the commitment this week. So there you go.
There you go.
That was part of us fulfilling it. So for those
I enjoyed sharing
unfamiliar,
it.
we made Ashley made a AI video of with Legos, kind of making fun of or mirroring the Iranian AI Lego video that we talked about, where it was just the Three Brothers taking down priestcraft. Little rap battle talking about it. So it was amusing. No, it was
was
good.
great. It was awesome. Came out of nowhere for me. I was like, what the heck?
And all of that stuff was AI. So like the song was complete. We didn't even add anything. So like the Micah reading scriptures, Topher, like all of that was just they decided to do that. That was random. So we didn't make any of those things. Or Ammon smiling all the time. Like we didn't make that either. So for some reason Ammon's like happy smiling like the whole video. And then like a couple moments he gets angry. But like other than that, like even when he's tossing the table, he's smirking. So like we didn't do any of that. That was just AI. It was like, oh, let's make one of them the giggler. I don't know. But so yeah.
No, it was awesome.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
For me, I nothing else this week. I saw the new Spoderman movie, and it was pretty good.
Buddha man.
So if you like Spoderman, it's not a bad one.
Yeah. Spoderman's pretty good. Not a massive Tom Holland fan, and he's done about 16 of those movies so far, so it's a bit of a shame. Is Zendaya still in it?
Yes.
Yep,
I'm
don't
not a
like
fan
her
of
either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife's like,
That's-
my wife can't understand that. I'm like, I don't know, man. I just don't like her. I find her annoying and not. There's nothing there that I
It's not redeemable. Yeah.
yeah, not a redeeming. And then like, you know who else I don't like is Timothy Chalamet. You know, and they like so Tom Holland and Timothy Chalamet, they're in everything, right? They're like the flavor of the month in terms of like young male actors or whatever. They're in everything. And then Zendaya's the female that's in everything. You know,
Mhm.
she's in I think I haven't seen it, but the Odyssey movie, I think she's in there. Yeah, and not a fan of any of them. Timothy Chalamet's got the physique of a 14-year-old girl, and Tom Holland's like 3'4", you know, and I'm like, I
Yeah,
just can't
it's
look at
true.
these guys with any sort of respect. Can't do
You
it.
know, no, nope,
Yeah.
yep. I'm not a
Yeah.
huge fan. I'm not an unfan, but I'm like Spider-Man's never been my favorite Marvel character, and that was made manifest by my favorite Spider-Man movie being literally like I don't even think it's close, the most pan disliked Spider-Man movie of all. So like yeah, I
Which one?
my was The Amazing Spider-Man #2 with Andrew Garfield. That was
Ah,
actually that was actually my favorite one that I've seen. I'm like, oh wow, this was actually really good. Like this was really good. And yeah, and so anyway, and everyone's like, that's the worst Spider-Man there is. I'm like, well, that makes sense. That makes
what's
sense.
the?
Because
Just remind me who's the enemy in that one, or what happens in that one?
she dies in that one. And it
Oh,
has
that one.
that scene where he's shooting the web and it turns into a hand. And they apparently tried to redo it in this movie, but they didn't make it serious, so they just made him save her. But they mimicked the exact same scene in apparently this new Spider-Man. But but yeah.
Hmm. I yeah yeah. Won't go too much into it, but there is a similar scene, yes. And I thought, oh, I wonder if the same sort of thing will happen. But yeah. Anyway, won't spoil it or anything. But anyway, it was
Which
pretty good movie.
which is what apparently, not to spoil anything for anybody who reads comics, but that is what actually happens in the comics. But so but people always say like, yeah, but the multiverse, there's no multiverse. There's everything written before the LGBTQ took over comics, and then there's everything after. And if you want to try to smush those two into it, it's no, I'm not
I
playing that game.
I hate the multiverse. I hate it. I don't like it
Yeah, yeah, don't do
because
it.
you know why? Because you can do anything at all. You can do anything now.
There's never ever a boundary. Yep.
There's no rules. You can do anything now.
There can be
Anything that
any
makes sense.
surprise.
Anything can be anything.
Yep.
It's like I don't like that. There needs to be rules. There needs to be
And no
guardrails. There needs to be
consequence.
no consequence to anything because you go, oh, you know what? In this timeline, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I hate it.
Well,
And there's never an
okay.
end to anything either. It's just going to go on and on and on forever.
This version of this guy didn't do this in this one, so now they just focus on that. Like whatever. It's like, it's stupid.
And anyone can die of anything at any time, at any point, and there can be infinite of them. What's
Yeah.
the point of that?
I don't mind
Also,
it in
there's
Rick
no
and Morty.
consequences. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's
there's no
because it's
consequence.
funny.
There's nothing. Yeah, Rick and Morty
Nothing
because
matters.
it's silly and stupid and just episodes of nonsense. It works in there, but like in films like this where it's, it gets too gnarly, too crazy. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very
So,
hard.
And
Thank
also,
goodness, Lord of the Rings was already made.
the Lord of the Rings multiverse. Oh. Yeah, I was gonna say like, and the whole multiverse thing. It's like because I'm pretty sure some people like to try and think that there's multiverse for us in reality. Like there's but and technically there are other universes probably, but like not a multiverse theory where we all exist in an infinite amount of things or whatever. Anyway, but people like to whatever. Yeah. Anyway,
Don't know why. Don't even know
so-
why a multiverse like that needs to exist with an omnipotent God. Like, do you realize that he doesn't have to create an infinite number of universes because he knows how you will react in an
Yeah.
infinite number of situations,
If
so he
it
doesn't need to.
if it did exist like that, it diminishes your value.
Correct.
Your individual value is diminished because there's infinite of you in it, and then it's like, what's the point then if there's infinite of me all doing different things? It doesn't make sense. But anyway, people like
Doesn't
to
it-
like
doesn't it also diminish the point of existing? Because
Hmm.
if God has all power and can create anything, and the universe, let's say it is infinite, then why wouldn't he just fill that universe with things? Why would he have to have infinite universes
Yeah.
if the universe is already infinite? I don't know. It just doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, it's dumb idea.
Yeah, it's weird. But it gives them an unlimited number of outs. They can always go to something else to
Yeah.
change the entire ball game. And they've
Sounds-
obviously done that because there's so many. Look at how many Spider-Man movies they are. They can do whatever they want. Spider-Man. He dies. He comes from another universe. He dies again. He's got a new actor. It always makes sense, but it's
Mm.
boring.
Well, it's interesting actually because I don't want to keep going too far into this, taking this off the rails, but with Spider-Man, there are different Spider-Man comics, right? So they're really kind of making them for the, because one of the Spider-Man comics can shoot his own web, then the others need web shooters. So they've done that, so they've done there's the Amazing Spider-Man. I think there's the different names of Spider-Man, the Amazing, the Spectacular, different comics, different versions of the story. Anyway. But yeah, so hopefully everyone watching stood as a watchman against Priestcraft. Pull this back onto the right.
Yes, and if not, share a Lego video. There you go.
Share
And
the
that'll-
Lego video. There you
That'll
go. Or
do
watch
it
yeah.
for you. Oh, hey, Ammon did that. Ammon shared that.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So-
I didn't think of that myself, actually. Stupid of me.
Ammon actually did that. So there you go. Ammon fulfilled his commitment this week for sure.
There we go.
My man. My man.
That was a cool video. It's you know what? It's niche enough that unless you were, because usually with a visual, I feel like it's almost anyone can pick up what a visual is throwing down. I thought it was niche enough that if you're not like a pretty committed member of the church, you're probably not going to have any idea what that was about, which I
like a
did
parable.
think was, yeah,
It's
I
like
thought it was
you get something
fun.
out of
I
it
thought it
if
was
you know what
funny. Yeah. Yeah. You can't just watch it and know. You'd have to kind of get the gist of the whole thing. So anyway, I thought it was cool.
Nice. All right. Well, strap yourselves in because this week it's my rant.
We've got to rent. Yeah, we've got to rent. Oh, it's the rent of the week. Yeah.
All right. Yep.
I was
So we'll bring
typing
up
this.
the image. Yeah.
I was typing this one in ChatGPT and it was like, no, we aren't allowed to do that. And I was like, wait.
Oh.
Not what I meant by where are all the men?
Well, this is the first time I've seen this image. It's really good. Real good. All right. So there's the image. Beautiful. Perfect. Exactly what I asked for. Now, if you recall, last week I went to the temple. I mentioned it last week in our podcast. I forget what day it was. I think it was either Thursday. It might have been Thursday or Friday. Went to the night session, 7 p.m. endowment session at the temple, Perth Temple. Perth Temple hadn't been opened in 18 months or thereabouts. Like a really, really, really long time for renovations. Like, oh, that's a long, long time. Like we've had a couple of months here and there, but that's a long time. So you'd think it'd be pretty busy, So anyway, went to the session, go in there. We were kind of like, we weren't really early, but we were like nicely on time. So my wife and I are sitting in the room in there, and the room's split with women and men, and the women's section, right? Women keep flooding in. And there was just a handful of men there, literally. And over the next, 20 minutes or so before the session starts, more women coming in, more women. Now, because of this, me noticing this, I did some addition and added up, right? So it turns out there's 20 seats on both sides, 20 for women, 20 for men. Guess how many women were rocked up?
20.
Spot on. Filled every single seat, right? Every single seat, right down to so they know too, I guess, how many people are there. So right as the last woman comes in, I'm literally like, there's no room in here. There was one more seat over there. Okay, boom, 20 women. Just take a guess how many men 20 women. How many men you reckon?
7.
Less.
Wow,
5.
4?
It was 6. There was 6.
Oh,
Now just think about that in your head and imagine that. Empty on one side. There's 20 seats. Empty on one side, basically. 20 women on the other. And so here is my question. Where are all the men? And I'm not going to lie, my wife and I, we kept looking at each other and just shaking our heads. And another woman would come in and another woman coming in. I'm just going, man, this is like kind of embarrassing, in all honesty. Like, I've got no one to be embarrassed for, but I'm embarrassed that, like, there's no men here. And so where are all the men? And that's essentially my rant. Like, I was really kind of disappointed, disheartened, and kind of annoyed, in all honesty. Like the temple had been shut for 18 months. Should it not be full? You know, like, what are we doing? And here we go. What are we prioritizing? You know, what are we putting first? What are we doing on a, you know, a Thursday night, a Friday night, or whatever, you know? And it's just, and mainly again, because it's been shut for 18 months. It should be, I would expect to be full. And then, you know, and then the session was, you know, not awkward, but like there was no men in there like the whole time. And so it was just kind of weird. And so that's my rant. It's like, where are all the good men, guys? Where are you? And then it makes me think, you know, that, you know, the scripture, I'll forget where it is or whatever, but I think it's Isaiah. There'll be 7 women to one man, you know, and 7 women will cling to one man, you know, a righteous man. And it's like, well, I just kind of seen it right here. You know, the math almost is perfect. These are all, you know, 20 righteous sisters, many of them probably single sisters, maybe, like a few of them were older in age. There were a couple of married couples there. But then where's the rest of their husbands then, if that's the case? Like, what's going on? You know, if there was some other married, like, where are the rest of them? You know? So anyway, really disappointing. And I just wanted to bring this up in a thing of its own. And that's why I said last week I went to the temple, but I wanted to talk about it this week. Because it was disappointing. And it's like, where are you, Ephraim? What are you doing? And I'm not going to say that I go to the temple enough or all the time, but the temple shouldn't be empty. And that's my rant.
You know, it's not just in Australia either. So like when Ashley and I went down to the Detroit temple, we try to do other things. So people are familiar with the temple. We don't just do the endowment. So we were doing something else. And it was something that required men and women. So like in separate locations. So you can guess what we were doing. And anyway. And I get in there and they're like, yeah, well, 3 men didn't show up. Like, we don't have spots for like the 3 men. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, do you mind like staying here an extra half an hour? And I'm like, whatever. So then like Ashley on her side, it's like there was women there and she was out earlier because they were like, well, we don't have anything. Yeah. And like me, I'm just like literally just like walking in a circle for like an hour,
Good
just like
400 by yourself. Yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah.
there was no other guy there. Yeah, and so yeah, no, it's universal.
Yeah. It's
By
frustrating and
yourself in a
sad.
circle.
It was literally just me just going in a circle by myself for an hour. Yeah, they were just waiting for me. Uh,
Yeah. It's frustrating and sad, man. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why. I don't know how to explain it, but it's not nice. That's all. And I just thought it's worth mentioning.
and
Worth
you won't
talking
hear
about.
about it anymore either. Like you know, one time when my stake president was trying to, he was not very happy with me. He shared the story about this temple president that he had, you know, on the west coast of Canada, I guess, who was like, look, like temple attendance is way down. And he was shared with the stake like how down it is. And he said, if you don't do this, they're not going to build. If you don't fill the temple, they're not going to build another one, and we're going to start losing sessions. So we're just going to have to start like doing the sessions. And this temple president died, I guess, within like a month or 2 of this. And this old stake president of mine, this old boomer stake president of mine, was convinced that that was because he wasn't supposed to lead like that as a temple president. So the Lord removed him from office. And
Oh wow.
So yeah, so there's a lot of this mentality, this boomer now mentality of just like you're never gonna hear about this. So you rant about this, but like a lot of us millennial men might actually appreciate to know this, like but hey, by the way, the temple sessions are not being filled up with men. We could really use your help, and a lot of millennial men be like, oh, it's good to know, thank you. I like to feel appreciated, right? But you're never gonna hear about it because it's the whole waving a stick mentality now, and they don't want to do it, so they're not going to tell you how low temple attendance is, and they're just not going to give you that information anymore.
Well,
At
you
least
better
it
believe
doesn't
I'm going
seem
to
like
bring it
it.
up to my eldest quorum on Sunday as well.
Well, I hope you
Not in a
don't
telling off way, but
hope
as
you
a
don't die, Topher.
No, but you know what? I'm just gonna,
Yeah,
just
100%. No,
say, hey,
it's good.
yeah, like, hey guys, like the temple was empty, man. Like we can all do better, And again, me too. I don't go enough either, but far out. Anyway, it's not great.
All right, we haven't heard from Mustache yet.
So wise. Yeah, I think it's a really, really good rant, and the men are disappearing. Maybe it's just because the women are innately better than us at being righteous. Maybe it's that they're more in touch with their feelings and emotions and feel like an escape to the temple is what they need, whereas men think they can tough everything out. I'm not sure, but it just does seem to me that the number of righteous young men in general is diminishing. They're just falling away. They're falling apart.
You know what I've noticed? You know what I've noticed as well, and this won't be 100% true all the time. And sorry to cut you off, Amin, if you were still going to
No,
go there.
that's it.
But I've noticed if you get a single woman, as in like her husband dies or she gets divorced or whatever, often they stay true and faithful, in the church. But if you get a single man, and again, same reason, either a widower or divorced or whatever, a lot of the time they dwindle, they dwindle off. They find themselves falling away. And it's not 100% true. But if you look at the figures, I guarantee you look at the figures, single sisters, and this again, probably why there's so many of them in the temple, but their single sisters remain true and faithful, and the men struggle. So the men need a good wife, it seems, to help keep them in line and keep them at church. But whereas women seem to be able to like manage it on their own. I don't know, self sort of what's the word? Not self-efficient, self-sustaining,
Motivating.
looking after themselves, self-motivating. That's the word. Self-motivating themselves. Whereas men seem to like lack that self-motivation if they don't have someone by their side or pushing them or whatever to be better. They struggle to measure up. I feel. I don't know. But
Well, women, especially their wives, are a lot of men's motivation to be
yeah,
better.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I would
Yeah,
also
so
say
that's
not to be contrarian, but I think another reason is that church culture for a long time now has been much more feminine than it has been masculine, and so a single female enjoys going to church more than a man does because church is more geared towards now feelings. How are you doing? And women actually enjoy church more than men, and so like you talk to a lot of men and you'll get a lot of answers like, well, no, I don't enjoy going to church, but it's the right thing to do. And so I do it from the sense of duty. But you talk to a lot of sisters and it's like, no, I love talking to the other sisters. I love so I think there's
Yep.
it's also easier to do something you love doing.
Yep.
Yeah, good point. Good point too. Yeah.
They should have a little gaming session at church, and you know what? I bet you men would enjoy it a little bit more. I mean, it's just as distracting and just as not spiritual as just sitting there talking about all the random stupid things that some of these sisters talk about. But anyway, you're not talking about anything spiritual. Talking about, shoes and dresses and you're talking about a bunch of stuff. I hear you. I hear what you sisters are talking about. But and I hear what the men are talking about in the halls too. The men are like, yeah, life's good.
Yeah.
You?
I don't care about your
Life's good.
booze. I know what makes you cheer. I've
That's
seen what
exactly
makes you cheer.
Yeah, your booze mean nothing to me. I've seen what makes you cheer.
That's
There it
exactly
is.
right. That's exactly right. So, Yep. Yep.
Anyway,
Anyway,
there you have
good.
it.
We need more men. Men, wake up. Awake and
Love a
almost
good
like
man.
a prophet might have seen our day and been like,
Mm.
oh my goodness, they need to awake and arise from the dust and put back on the authority of the priesthood.
Yeah.
Almost sounds scriptural.
Funny that.
Funny that. They must have been onto something. Yeah, that's good.
All right, let's have a comment.
Comment, comment of the week. Yeah, yeah, la, 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 yeah, 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 yay.
Yay!
Yay.
That's that's good. Excellent.
Okay.
All right, Ammon, read this one for us, will you?
Read it all week. Comment of the
Especially the
week
name, which I would hack up.
from Matthew La, which I assume is Matthew LA. Now, is my background blurred?
Yes,
Yep.
yes, your background is blurred. Yes, it is.
Very, very good. Carry on.
You're in the good.
Matthew La. We should not expect that a 5-minute talk will adequately instruct us in doctrine or prepare us spiritually. Mastery requires time. 5 minutes a day at the piano will produce very little progress. 5 minutes of exercise will yield limited physical growth. Likewise, 5 minutes in the scriptures, while certainly better than nothing, will rarely produce a depth of understanding that comes through sustained study, pondering, and seeking revelation. I guess we will perish if we continue to convince ourselves that we can be more saved by remaining ignorant. Yeah. 5 minutes of eating food, maybe that doesn't work as well, but eating really poor nutrient food is going to be the same thing. Like if you're constantly eating, like I work with a guy who for the first 13 years of his life, he only ate rice and cheese. And he was like malnourished and didn't grow. And then his parents took him to the doctor, and the doctors are like, he is malnourished. If you don't change up his diet, I know he doesn't want to eat anything else, but if you don't change his diet, he will not grow and he might die. So
He was 30 at the
Right.
time.
yeah, so then he moved to rice and chicken and seemed to do a bit better. But yeah, little nutrient in any small amounts of nutrients in any particular fashion are not going to save you. They're going to keep you alive.
You know what they call that? You know what they call that? Like when young children in particular have a hard time eating enough food or good food or whatever. I've seen it with some family actually. I don't know. Even Ammon might have seen this, but with ADHD, because it's often there's very little dopamine effect by eating food for some kids, right? So they find it hard to eat. They don't want to. They can't focus on it. They don't want to do it. They just forget, whatever. So, but I've seen it recently. They call it failure to thrive. So if you don't actually get enough nutrients, enough food, they call it failure to thrive. And I'm just thinking like that kind of relates. You know, failure to thrive spiritually. If you don't get enough, if you don't get enough spiritual nutrients, you won't thrive. And like doctors can see it actually affects you physically. If you have failure to thrive, you actually end up with stunted growth. You end up with all sorts of issues because your body actually can't do what it needs to do. It's trying to grow, but you're not giving it what it needs. And again, liken it spiritually, man. So failure to thrive spiritually, failure to give yourself enough spiritual goodness or whatever, you will fail to or struggle to grow spiritually. Same sort of deal. So this is a great comment, Matthew La. And very accurate and well said. Yeah, very true.
Yep. So yeah, you're not going to be able to survive in the days ahead on even pretending like you're getting enough from church. 25 minutes, you can't even pretend like, oh, I get enough of that at church. Nope. You're not even gonna be able to convince yourself of that anymore. You're gonna have to take this stuff seriously. The only thing I'm worried about thing that in my gut that just makes me go, oh, is I'm worried that this is going to turn into some sort of like seminary program for the church where third like they remove second hour entirely and just tell you to subscribe. Like basically like subscribe to the and they create this like hodgepodge of like LDS influencers that they then give like a stamp of approval to and are like, listen, like these people will help you study throughout the week. It's on you, but like these can help you in your studying and basically like seminary teachers for like the whole church via the internet. And that's the only thing that
Well, that would
I
be
know
terrible.
where this I would be terrible and so I'm like really worried about that like because it just seems like that's the path they're going. The church seems to be more and more and more getting closely knit with certain LDS influencers, giving them prominent callings. In fact, there was this whole big thing where like like Luke from the Outside
Mm.
Boys or whatever they were called, but like they're like him and a bunch of other prominent social media people all got callings at the same time and to work on that wing in the church. And it's like it worries me that like that this is true what this comment is saying, but like if we just offload this to priestcraft and be like
Oof,
teach me, it's gonna be even worse.
even worse. Mhm.
It's literally even worse. Go back to 5 minutes a day, like in just the scriptures yourself will be better than that.
Yeah. We're only a month away, by the way, from the change to Elders Quorum and
Yeah.
Sunday school and release Society. So be interested to see how that goes, eh?
We are not ready for it.
There will be nothing
And-
learnt in my ward, I can tell you that.
Yeah, and they put out a bunch of guidance already, and they're like they're basically saying you won't be doing lessons. You might focus on one point. Take the content for the week, take the talk that you're going to focus on and focus on one point or something, because you're not going to be able to teach a lesson. Essentially, almost nothing meaningful. Just it's going to be really interesting. Yeah,
Not in a good way.
we'll see soon. We'll see exactly how it
Call
goes.
me a
I've heard some
call me a
wards have
pessimist,
started.
but I know exactly how it's going.
Oh yeah,
I
Exactly
know
how it's
exactly
gonna
how it's going too, and so do all the priest crafters. They know exactly how it's going to go, and they're licking their chops because
Yeah.
like this is payday for them.
Businesses are
So-
booming, brother. It's never going to be
Business is
better.
booming. It's never going to be better, and that just makes me really sick to my stomach. But it
Oh,
is
yeah.
what it is.
yeah, yeah. Well, we'll see. All right, now.
Questions. Baby's got a question. Have you got a question? Well, here's a place to get it answered. It's the question of the week.
Baby's got a question.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I totally forgot I did this. Okay. I some of these, man, I pull them up and I'm like, oh yeah, I did that. Let's do this. So, speaking of priestcraft, speaking of being dumber, here's a comment here from Hank, Mr. Hank Smith himself. Life is too short to spend months, years with people who don't appreciate your presence. Life is too short to spend it chasing approval from people who have already decided not to give it. The Savior never asked us to beg for a place at every table, or pay, by the way, or subscribe. He invites us to build our lives around people who help us become more like Him. I wish I could click see less, a lot more on that, but here's my question. I'm going to ask the three brothers here because Hank can't answer this himself, but does this apply to our branches, wards, and stakes as well? I'm asking for a friend. Like, if my ward or my branch just doesn't approve of me, if they don't appreciate my presence, does that mean I can leave because I shouldn't have to spend
Yeah, just
months
go
or
less
years?
active.
This is what it means, right? This means because I rather just spend it around people that want me to become closer to the Savior. Is that right?
Mhm.
Did I read
This
that
This is my
right?
rant last week. My rant last week was all about this. People just want what they think is perfectly good for them, and despite everybody else, it's all about me, 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 nobody else. If people don't make me feel good, I'm not at church. If people don't make me, if I'm not learning, I'm sitting in the car park. It's always about me, 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 nothing else, no one else. Don't need to worry about anyone else. I have no connection with anybody else in the whole world. It's just me and Jesus, which is literally the opposite of the gospel of Jesus Christ. So thank you, Hank Smith, for filling the Antichrist little prophecy here that no one else matters and it's all about me.
What would they say
Yeah.
to that? What do you think he would
Just
say to that? If I
retarded.
say, if I said, well, my ward or branch doesn't appreciate my presence, and
He
they're
would
making
he'd
me
have to flip
beg,
it.
he'd have to say it's
He'd
on
have to
you,
flip it.
right? All of a sudden, he's like, well, what are you doing to make yourself welcome? What would you do? Or would he just say there isn't a ward or branch like that in the entire world? Or is he just gonna lie? Like, what's he gonna?
Oh, I'm sure there's someone for it. He'd have to start changing his tune on that. It
There
just
was
doesn't
that.
make any
The thing
sense.
is, no wards are perfect either. No wards and branches are perfect either. There's always going to be there'll be someone in your ward that goes through struggles like that every time. Doesn't
Yeah.
doesn't matter who you are, where you are. So
Yep.
it's a ridiculous notion.
There was that story that was shared recently at General Conference again of this guy who I think what was it, Hawaii or the Philippines? I don't know, but this guy was just reprimanded by the branch president, and because he brought his kids or something, they were sick to church or something, and he just yelled at them all and said, "Get out." And the dad took his family home, and then they just sat there. The dad got the family and got them to sit in a circle around each other, and they just sat there and prayed for a while, and they were all like depressed and stuff like that and sad. And finally the dad spoke and was like, this is the true church of Jesus Christ, and we're going back. And that's final. And it was like this moment of just like this that it didn't matter if the branch president was perfect. It didn't matter if they handled that situation well. It didn't matter. Like, did it hurt our feelings? Yes. Was it not the way? Yes. But you know what is the message? What's the example I want to set as a father in this family? It's the church is true. We're gonna go back. And
Mm,
that wasn't right. And it's like, imagine if he had taken Hank's advice. That
yeah.
father and that family would not have come back. Um,
Mhm.
would not, would not have come back. So
And people hang their tiny little small hats on quotes like this. They read them, they absorb them, they form opinions based on them, and they go, "Oh, this guy's a clever guy. He's important, and he's definitely right. Yeah, I'm not going to church on Sunday." That did it for me. And we know that because they post comments under crap like this, and they say, "Thanks once again, Hank. It's all because of you that I've decided never to go back."
Yeah. Oh, they love their echo chambers of support, eh?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm in there's some fringe groups on Facebook and stuff where like it's LDS themed and yet you don't have to be an active member or whatever to be in there. And some of the comments and stuff in there are so stupid and you get some of these angry people and they just love being able to jump on and support each other in their like anti-Mormon mentalities and things. They love it. But I just want to say kudos that story. I remember hearing that, Micah, that story. Kudos to that father because often we let people, it can be easy. The easier way out is to let the offense of someone change your whole trajectory, right? Like we often do that, and you hear that all the time. I know many people, oh, I left the church because I didn't like the people. It's like and you're supposed to, but you go, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. But really, I need to say no. That's not right, actually. Like so what? So what? Because people are idiots. People are offensive. People are fools. People are imperfect. That is how it
Yep.
goes. And as Brigham Young says, he who takes offense when offense was not intended is a fool. Yet he who takes offense when offense is intended is an even greater fool, for he has succumbed to the will of his adversary. And just looking at Hank Smith's comment here, the Savior never asked us to beg for a place at every table. He invites us to build our lives around people who help us become more like him. It's like, well, actually, he kind of did, mate. We don't have to sit necessarily beg at every table, but he does expect us to help and talk and be around and evangelize to everyone. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not meant to just hang around people who are like me, like nonstop, and just be like, we're the best. Good luck, everyone who's not interested. That's kind of the point. Is like that we need to kind of get it out there to people who may not be interested or may not be nice.
Yep. You just
So
brought up you
yeah,
just brought up an excellent point. Who's our example in all things? Christ.
and what did he
Imagine
do?
if Christ had followed this advice. Life is too short to be spent. Don't appreciate your presence. What?
That was his whole life.
That was literally his whole life around people. How long must I suffer you? How, like, do you not know who I am? Like, his whole life was spent in service, giving to people who didn't appreciate it, didn't understand it, who couldn't comprehend it, whatever. Like,
You
and
know,
what's
this
so
guy
great?
gave him. Sorry, go on.
It was crazy is that I would even say that the Savior begged, he urged. I would even say
Yeah.
he begged and urged us to repent and to come under him. Like, you don't think that's in his vocabulary to beg us, to urge us, to plead with us? You don't think that happens? You know, to it's just silly, man. You're silly. You got it wrong.
Yep.
And not only that, just so FYI, this is two different comments. So he made this comment. He thought this comment was so good, he doubled down on it.
He really patted himself on the back when he wrote this. He went, you know what? Follow up on this one. This one needs more. Yeah, he's really happy with himself with this one. Yeah, or maybe he got a few likes and he felt really good about it. You know. Yeah.
Some people DMing him, this changed my life.
Yeah.
This was the best thing ever. Thank you so much, Hank.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
You and John, by the way, are my heroes. Anyway, for those who don't know, him and John, by the way, are like the duo. So anyway,
Ah, the duo. Right.
yeah.
Okay. I knew the
Those two.
name, but I couldn't. I was like, who is this guy? I know the name, but I couldn't think of where he was from. All right.
Oh, wait one sec. Wait one sec. So
Yeah.
just so people are aware, like if they're curious about that story, you can go to Elder D. Todd Christofferson's talk in 2024, the testimony of Jesus. And that story's in there. So for those that are
Oh, cool.
want to go see it.
Mm-hmm.
He's in
Yeah,
Hawaii.
good.
Did you want me to read it, or it's fine? You can go see
Oh.
it. It's really good. So it's in, yeah. It was Hawaii,
Cool.
and it was over illness. The daughter fell ill, and anyway,
No,
I didn't make it up.
no, it's real. It's definitely real. I remember the story. Yeah. All right, now time for what is probably many people's favorite part of the week: the Three Brothers Anchors.
Tune in to Channel Free. Channel Free Brothers for this week's headlines. With your anchors, Topher, Micah, and Evan. Get your week's headlines. Channel Free. Yeah.
Channel 3 Brothers.
By the way, check our merch store coming soon for Channel 3 Brothers, because that's too good not to
Capitalize.
capitalize and Priestcraft over. I mean, like, oh my goodness. Oh, but it's news, so it's new, so that'd be fine. As I've been told a million times. Okay. Here we go. Number one. Even Matt Walsh, I'll read the first one. You guys can decide who goes from here on. Even Matt Walsh wants the Iran war to end. Can we focus on America for a change, Mr. President? So yeah, even Matt Walsh, which by the way works at Daily Wire,
Very
yeah,
pro-Israel.
and very pro-Israel for the most part. It's now like we're too pro-Israel. Like that's what he's at now, where it's like, okay, I'm pro-Israel, but like at the expense of America. Now it is now at the expense of America.
It's saying something when one of those guys changes their tune. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Good. Well, I'm with you, Matt. Yeah, that's good
I gotta
news.
say, it was extremely comforting to see when like half of the Republican talking heads, media, most famous Republicans in media, whatever, flipped on D Trump and all the garbage that's been going on. It was so refreshing because to me it just says they're focused on what's real and what's true, not on putting their political party first or putting their supposed like alliances and crap first. It was just about what was real and what was important. They weren't being hypocrites. Whereas I just saw from the left so often people on the left say one thing, and then when the opposite happened, they're like, "Oh no, I always said the opposite was the best thing." You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's like all the Democrats are like, marriage is between a man and a woman, and that'll never change. And then a couple of years later, they're like, if you say no to gay marriage, you should be lynched.
You're all bigots. Yeah.
No,
It's funny how like they you can
That
you
was
can get
literally
quotes.
Obama. That was literally Obama.
Yeah, you can
by
get
the way.
quotes from a few
Hillary
years back,
Clinton, Obama,
and they sound like
was
Republicans today, right? Or
Yep.
yeah, Republicans today, but they were Democrats, 10 years ago or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Marriage is between a man and a woman. It's like 5 years later. These bigots.
yeah,
What
You
the heck?
bigots.
What the heck?
Immigration. I believe
Hmm.
that America can help other countries, but they must come in legally. If you stop them at the border, you are a murderer. If you split up families, you're an evil person. Like, what?
Hmm.
You were
Yeah.
the dude that kept them out when you were in charge. You kept them out.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just been interesting. I love seeing them turn on their own parties and stuff because they're interested in what is real, what is true, not the garbage, toe the line. This is my party, so I'm going to pretend it's all good garbage.
Yeah, I think Matt Walsh is starting to really understand that that for him, it's always like he tries to really make it God, family, America, Israel. Like he tries to make his priorities very, very clear. And I think for the first time in maybe his life, he's starting to realize that Ben Shapiro, it really is Israel than America. Like
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
he's starting to understand that like, oh no, he does care more about Israel than he does about America. And like, is that a problem? And it's like, you know what? That might actually be a problem, at least for
Hmm.
Americans, because it's like you can't care about another country more while dictating that what this country should do, because then all of your decisions will be pro that country at the expense of this country, and it just can't work.
Ben Shapiro literally quoted saying, America's support for Israel is the main reason why he would be allegiant to America. Why he
That's
loves
it.
America. It's
Yes.
America's support of Israel is what makes him allegiant to America.
Yes.
It's like that's not the exact quote, right? But that's the gist of
Pretty
it.
darn close.
And it's like, what the heck, man? Yeah, okay, good on you. So you're not allegiant to America at all. You're only allegiant to America because they're pro-Israel. Yeah, good. Good to know. Yeah.
A fair weather American.
Yeah.
If that. All right, number 2. Who's gonna hook us up?
Do you want to do them, Ammon? Can you read them or do you want me to?
Sure.
I can do them.
Yeah. Number 2, Trump's tariff refund checks are in. Walmart, $10 billion. Amazon, $600 million. Apple, $2.2 billion. Meanwhile, where are our checks? Average Americans check the mailbox anyway, just in case. My goodness.
That is so much money. What's funny, right? They throw around a billion, 10 billion. Like that's thrown around now like it's nothing. Like $10 billion. Like that is so much money, and you can't even fathom how much money $10 billion is. Like it is so much money. Have you seen one of those visualizations of
I have.
like $1 million versus a billion, and it's like a million is like a pallet, and a billion's like six
A skyscraper.
like it's like what it's like so different, and these figures are thrown around, and we just go, oh yeah, whatever, like it's just like kind of like we just like desensitized to these figures now, but that's massive. Can I just ask a question though? What is a tariff refund check? Is that a tax refund? What is that? Is that tax?
So he tariffed. So Trump put these tariffs
The
in,
big
and then
businesses.
yeah, coming into the United States, and then he promised that there would be tariff refunds because he would get money from doing these tariffs, and then he would be able to give it to people. At one point in time,
Right.
Trump literally said that he believed that using tariffs alone, he'd be able to eliminate income tax. So he said that he'd be able to get enough money via the tariffs to pay for the cut income tax. That was one of his promises. And
Right.
so he did all these
If they'd
tariffs.
stop making 400,000 missiles a day, maybe they would. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, maybe.
so
They can't. They're never going to stop that.
Yeah.
He was-
Each missile costs $10 billion. It's like, all right.
he was going to give each family something. I don't know what the number was. Each family, each worker, everybody who paid taxes. I don't know what the stipulation was, the box, but he was going to give each American when he did it when he started it $2,000. He said every American this will get $2,000 from these tariffs. And then they said, "Oh, that'll be billions of dollars. That'll be a couple $1 billion. There's no way you could do that." So he said, "Okay," and stopped. But then apparently turned around and then gave 10 billion to Walmart and 2 to Apple. And anyway, so it's like,
Yeah.
what? So the Americans can't get $2,000 each for a couple billion, I guess. But
Yeah.
but
You know,
could
have
dump
they
this
ever
for
done
these
that
people.
before in America? Have they ever actually done it before? Ever
Given
successfully
refunds?
given out money? Yeah, or actually
Yeah.
just given out money to everyone? Have they?
They have. It's been a couple $100. It's been nothing, but yeah.
Yeah. They did it in Australia a couple of years back. They gave everyone $1,000. I think it was 1,000, something like that. 800 or 1,000, something like that. And like, I mean, of course you're excited to get free money, but it doesn't even make a dent. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, it doesn't even make a dent, like for us, you know?
No.
And these guys are getting so much money that you can't even fathom how much money it is, you know?
To one company.
Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, I don't know at what point in time, and I wrote a big rant about this on Facebook. I don't know at what point in time do you have to just realize that like boomers, like this is on you. Like if you look at all these CEOs of boomers, this is on you. And your staunch defending of capitalism in America is turning the youth against it. Like the American first, people like this, well, we can't pay capitalists. Like they're cheering for this. You go on to some of these people's sites and they're cheering for this. We're like, well, good for them because this is capitalism. Like get money back in the businesses and it'll trickle down. And it's like brothers, you're killing what's left of capitalism because I'm telling you, if young people growing up see this and just hear you saying my bootstraps and telling us not to eat our avocado toast, they're going to become communists. And not only that, it's the only logical conclusion. Even if communism is insane, even if it never works, what's the alternative to these desperate young people? What's the alternative you're providing? There is none. This is not working for them any longer. Like this is working against them. And any intelligent youth is going to kind of come up and realize this is working against me. And so burn it to the ground. And so, which is not a good solution. I'm not saying that's a good solution, but I'm just saying like,
Neither is the current.
Yeah, this is not going in a good way.
Mm.
Everyone's in debt. I've said that to Ashley multiple times, man. I've seen people driving cars, like our cars, well, partially due to maybe how we treat our vehicles. But I hear giggles now behind me. But our vehicles are like beat the tar, and I'm like, how do these people afford these new cars? Like, how are people affording this stuff? And Ashley's like, they're all in debt, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
She's like, dude, I work with all these people. They're all in so much debt, and
That's the answer.
and she's like, dude, they barely survive paycheck to paycheck, and it's like this is gonna fall apart, and it's gonna get fairly ugly, really fast. Because like it's apparently we're on a needle's edge with these people, and just like one big catastrophe, and it's like it's over. Like a huge swath of America, at least, is just they're gonna go under. They can barely pay their bills.
Didn't they say, I think we're at like basically at the same point that we were at the 2008 financial crisis? Like we're basically at the same sort of tipping point now, something similar to it. Maybe worse though, I think they said.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so
We're in a bad way.
So
Yep. So, Micah, did you get your check?
no, I didn't get my check.
Still waiting. All right.
Yeah.
Shall we? Number 3, gunman opens fire at a new In-N-Out burger in Twin Falls, Idaho. Armed citizen and off-duty trooper ruin the gunman's lunch plans. I did see part of this. What was the reason this guy was popping off? Does
he
something
didn't get
start?
enough. He didn't get enough In-N-Out sauce on
In-N-Out?
his animal fries, on his animal style
Yeah,
fries or something.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't
That
know.
makes sense.
That's
I
a
did.
joke,
I
don't
did
know.
see the pistol. I saw the pistol that gunman was using to shoot at him. That thing looked like it was out of Star Wars. It was like 2 feet long.
It's suppressed.
It's massive.
Yeah.
Oh, was it suppressed? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, he had an attachment on that. He had
Okay.
a mod, if you will, on the end of that. Yeah, that was. Yeah.
All right.
So what was the end
Yeah.
result? He ended up getting shot then, obviously. I mean,
The-
that's
the-
gonna that's
he
that's
drove
the end
him
result
off.
every time.
He shot himself.
Oh.
So these people ended
Oh.
up like firing shots back at him, and the gunman retreated and then killed himself. And so, yeah, so
Wow.
they drove him back, and he was like, "Oh crap!" And then he's like, "What am I gonna do? They're gonna shoot me." And then he just ended himself.
So
And
in other words, he went in and then out.
it's true. And checked out. He went in, checked out. Yeah, yeah. So that was it. And yeah, he is
Hotel
white.
California.
So, as far as I know, this gunman is white, which you would expect in Idaho. But so now they're trying to say he's a Trump supporter and he's anti-immigrant. And I mean, obviously,
Oh
'cause
yeah,
if he's
use
whi-
the
if
event for
he's-
something.
yeah,
Yeah,
if he's
you
white,
gotta-
obviously now you need to tell everyone he's white because now all of a sudden the race
Yeah.
matters. So we'll tell
Yeah,
everyone.
because if
the
there's anything
race
else, you won't ever hear about it. Yeah.
matters. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure in Idaho, there's an 80% chance. It's literally the reddest state, one of the reddest states in the United States. It's funny you say it's the reddest state in like 2 or 3 other states. Literally, the top 3 would be like, no, it's us. But whatever. Okay, calm down. But yeah, so they all pride themselves on that. But so yeah, I'm sure he had some right leaning tendencies. And there's an 80% chance if he's in that part of the world. So I don't know what.
Do you know what's funny? I remember seeing this. I saw that post and saw a video, and you know what the comments were? They have In-N-Out in Idaho. This is what the comments were. I can't believe they got In-N-Out in Idaho. That was
Yeah.
all the comments the whole time. They're like, this is what people
We're
care
so
about.
desensitized. We're so desensitized.
It's
And,
funny, man.
More
Yeah.
death. Whoa, burger place. That's cool. So
Yeah.
so dumb.
Look,
That's
a
us.
blue car.
Yeah, we don't have In-N-Out here, but they got In-N-Out in Idaho. It's like,
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, it's happening everywhere. So I don't know. I don't know what caused it, but I'm sure that it really doesn't matter, and you're never gonna know. And if it is something even they can remotely make right wing, they will, because people still believe that a man who never shot anyone his entire life went on a roof somehow with a 3-foot gun up his pants and shot somebody for the first time ever in his life and calmly unscrewed the gun
multiple times, put it back together, and
multiple
unscrewed it.
times, put it together, yes, while in the kneeling position, and then
Yeah.
proceeded to do a military crawl away and then jump off,
And then went out for ice cream.
and then went out for ice cream. Yeah. So I mean, whatever they're
Yeah.
telling you, I'm sure it's accurate. So don't worry.
They have our best interests at heart, clearly.
You're not getting swindled if you were.
Yeah.
If you have that feeling like Topher described in your gut, push it down, swallow it.
Yeah.
It's all fine.
Suppress.
Suppress it. Suppress
There's no
it.
swindling.
There's no swindling. It's all good, folks. It's all good. We just simply report, you laugh. You decide.
Very good. That was our In-N-Out, homie. Number 4, 80,000 military-aged men pour into Spain. European leaders reassure citizens that asking questions remains deeply inappropriate. Oh, man, the images of this were wild.
GG.
Thousands
GG
and
Spain.
thousands of these
Good luck.
dudes just
That's it.
Good luck.
pouring
That's
into
it.
Spain.
That's it.
Spain's done.
You are
Overwhelmed.
done. You're cooked. Gone. Dead. Cooked. Finished.
Benito.
I
Liter-
can't believe there's anyone that can say that it doesn't matter, it's good, or somehow support.
Wow.
I don't know how you
Yeah.
can take the view that that is in any way good. And if you do, I'm just like, anyway, I
Can't,
just cannot
yeah, I
fathom
can't
it.
help you, and we can't be united on anything. Like,
Yeah.
and the
Crazy.
only options now are extremely radical, so radical that no one would ever say them. Well, maybe Topher would, and then Ammon would correctly
Say it
immediately
better than me.
would
Say it in a more
say it better.
appropriate way.
Yes,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
Topher
yeah.
is trying to say is
allegedly,
yeah,
add a few allegedlys in there.
allegedly
no,
people are taking to the
no.
streets. No,
But here's
I'm
the
gonna
thing,
be
right?
there.
I mean, it's a problem no matter what, I think, and no matter 80,000 of anyone going into another place, that's a problem, no matter who and why and where, what and how. But 80,000 military-aged men,
Yeah.
that is insane. That is crazy. If it was a whole bunch of women and children, you'd be like, well, okay, they're desperate. There's a problem here. It's terrible, but they probably do need someone to go. Why is there never any women and children though?
No, it's war.
Never. They're never
This is
there.
literally espionage. This is war.
Literally.
This is what this is.
Literally. And then they wonder why things go south after this. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah, you need to fight back now at this point in time, Spain. In the ballot box. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. In the ballot box. You need to fight back. In the ballot. You need to vote.
By putting your ballot box. Yeah, watch them run around you
in
in
the
circles
bullet
whilst
box.
you're voting at the bullet box. Absolutely
much.
cooked. They only find out the hard way after a couple of years of realizing no one can afford to eat, no one can afford their houses. They're getting overrun.
And all your
they're
daughters
getting
have been
assaulted.
raped.
All your daughters
Yep.
have been raped. Good luck. And always important to note in moments like this, because everyone just takes sound bites and decides that we're evil people. And don't I love to try and change that opinion to people in moments like this? But we're not against people helping other people. We're not against people coming into our countries the right way. We're not against people having better lives.
The right
All
way.
those things are true. We're all family of immigrants. Totally fine. The problem is when you overwhelm, if you say the reason that they want to come here is because they can have a better life, that's true only to a point. Because if they breach the rules, they will flood this place and then
They're ruining the better
this
life
place.
for everyone.
They will simply bring the quality of life here down to where they came from. And then all of a sudden the entire world sucks and no one can help anyone. But right now we have the opportunity to actually do a lot of good for them where they are, to help them improve where they are, and also for those that do come in here to provide them with a better life. But we can't do either of those things if they flood into these countries and bring them down to the same level. So, and there's been some really good visuals and really good videos explaining that have really helped me understand it. So it's not like we're anti-helping people or anything like that. But when governments don't uphold their own law, their own legal system, and let people pour in thinking it doesn't affect them, well, it's going to affect everyone, and they're going to find out the hard way. So if you want a really good example, just look straight to Poland, guys. Poland is the way. All right.
I am
Next one,
surprised.
another-
Has there never been a single problem with this though? Like not one, like how has there not been one like military problem? Like I've never heard of one military problem where some general, some guy on a battleship was just like, tell him to turn around or I'm going to open fire. Like why has there never been one mistake ever? Like how are we this in line now? Like in World War I, World War II, there'd be like, how are we this perfect? This is what I don't get. Like, how is 80,000 people come in and there's not a single incident? Like, we hear about incidents between India and China like all the time, where we're like, well, we can't fire, so they'll get bats and they'll literally go beat the crap out of each other. Like this happens on the border of China and India. They'll put their guns down and they'll grab bats and stuff and just beat the crap out of each other because like then there's no shots fired, right? Like And it's like, how is none of this happening? Like, how are people showing up on beaches where you have children and there's like no incidents? Like, to me,
Mm.
it's like, I think people should start to look at that and realize that, like, the only way that that happens is if your government is doing it.
Told them to
Like,
stand down. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it is not even just tell them to stand down. I think they're facilitating it. I think there are people in play to make sure it moves as smoothly as possible, because there just would naturally be problems because people are stupid and they'd react stupidly and there'd be engagements. So the fact
Mm.
that this just happens and this has been happening and there's just been like nothing is just terrifying to me. It's like, once again, the bird not even lifting a finger or making a peep. It's like
Yeah.
nothing. But anyway, all right, next one. Speaking of heat and gun deaths,
Mm.
this one's hilarious to me.
Oh, yes. Number 5. Is this the last one?
Last one.
Last one. Germany's heat death toll nears 10. My goodness, I've never heard this. Germany's
heard
heat
this.
death toll nears 10,000, while America's gun deaths approach 8,000. Turns out common sense sunscreen laws weren't enough. Unreal. So Germany's in a heat wave where it's around 40 degrees and it nears 10,000 people dead.
That is
absolutely
crazy
insane.
figures. Is that actually true? That's
What
wild.
happens in those cold countries, man. When they have like warm days, everyone just dies. Happens in France and all sorts.
That's
40-degree days here are just a summer day.
It's 12,000. I'm just Googled it. It's now 12,000.
Unreal. Who's dying? Grant, like seniors?
That's what I want to know. What's killing them?
the sun. But yeah, anyway, the gun death approach 8,000. This is of the deaths that we obviously don't want to have happen, but that are non-self-inflicted. So there are obviously more suicides by guns that are not included in that figure, because the assumption is, in this comparison, obviously, that no one's choosing death by sun. But anyway, that these 10,000 people that are dying in Germany are not committing suicide. This is like, so this is a proper comparison.
I'm just reading an article about this, and they're like, if the heat gets over 35 degrees, they start getting worried, and then when it hits 40, that's when people are dying. And it's like, but we hit 40 degrees here in Australia, like half
Do you
the
have
year.
AC?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
But
they
even
don't.
those that don't.
Also no. Yeah, like
Yeah.
yes and no. Yeah. But what's killing you? What are
I
you
think
standing
we're
in the
just-
sun all day?
We're just used to it, man.
Excess heat deaths. What do you? I just can't fathom. I guess because we live in it. I don't understand. But anyway, that's crazy. But both of those figures are wild. So 8,000 gun deaths was also insane.
Well, also, what's the population of Germany and what's the population of America? I know America's 350 million,
True.
which is always used against us when we're winning, right? So whatever, it's like the Olympics is like, well, we only have 30 million people, you have a 330 million, and so it's always used against us that way, but never the other way. Whoa, 8,000 deaths. It's like, well, yeah, but we're also 10 times the size of you. So it's like, so that would be 800 gun deaths if that was Australia. That would be 800 if that was Australia. That would be the number with the population change. And it would be 1,000 people dying in Australia because of heat. What if it was America?
Right.
What is Germany, man? What's the population in Germany? It's got to be like 60 million, 50 million. I bet you it's not over 100. What is it?
No.
80 million. 80
83.
million.
Yeah.
80.
Yep.
Okay, so they're how big's Australia at the moment? 25?
Oh, 25. You guys are smaller than Canada?
We're tiny, man.
We're not
Let me
that
Google.
small. We're about 30, I think. 33.
Australia. We just had a census too.
What is Australia's population versus Canada?
27 million.
27 million in Australia. Wow, you guys are smaller than Canada. I had no idea. Canada's now 42 with all the immigrants. Millions of immigrants they've now brought in. 42 million. That's crazy. And you just said yours was 28? Wow. You guys are
Mm.
tiny.
Well, we're average sized.
You're micro. You're like a micro country. My gosh. All right. Well, I guess that
Yeah.
answers it. 80 million. So yeah, they have 80 million people in Germany. They have 10,000 deaths related, or now 12,000 related to heat. America has 320 to 350 million people, depending on, how many are here that we don't know about. And they have 8,000 murder, death, kill with guns. So, and yeah, we have a lot of guns over here. A lot of guns. A lot of guns. And
Not
so
enough.
but not enough. And so it's clearly not as big a problem as the sun. So yeah, I agree. There wasn't enough common sense sunscreen laws. I think that was the problem was. And that's what the Aussies are doing right now. Where's the common sense? How did they die? What's going on? I told you about the lady I ran into on my mission, right? That almost died in her house in a heat wave.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fell back backwards. Same thing. She was diabetic and she just it got so hot she just fell asleep and then died. And so like a lot of people with diabetes and things like that, it gets hot, they just fall asleep. They don't know how to handle it or manage it well. They're all alone, they fall asleep, they're gone. Poof.
Yeah, right. It's such a high number. It's so high.
Well, that's why they had to bring in 80,000 people to replace them. Joking.
Who
Calm
can
down.
tolerate the heat better? Yeah.
Who could? Yeah, there you go. There you go. So that's it. That's the Three Brothers news. We report. You decide.
You decide.
In other news, what will kill you faster? The heat in Germany or a gun in America?
Apparently, heat in Germany.
It's-
Gone in America. All right.
Spiritual, spiritual. Come on, let's get spiritual. Let's talk spiritual. Let me get you spiritual, spiritual. Let me get you spiritual. Oh, spiritual, spiritual. Put it down. Give me your spiritual thought. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Those are good. Those are ridiculously good. All right. I'll be dancing them ever. All right. So this is something that came up again this week for me. And I thought this is really, really important. So I'm going to bring this up again. There's this quote that I came up with years ago, and I love it. And because it's people just don't get it, and they need to. Zion isn't built by those who are perfect. Zion is built by those who resolve conflict perfectly. And that like it says, it starts with the individual. And the spirit of Zion starts with every individual. It then starts in every family, and then it goes from every family out. And it's like there isn't a perfect family. Like, do you understand this? There isn't a perfect individual. Like there isn't a perfect, but there are individuals who I can testify that I know exist who resolve problems with themselves perfectly, who resolve problems with others perfectly. They don't always make mistakes, Occasionally Micah will do stuff that ticks Topher off. Like occasionally that's gonna happen. He's gonna make mistakes, but how do you resolve the problem? Like, can you resolve problems perfectly? Can you get over these things? It's not can you be perfect, it's can you resolve the problems? Can you resolve them with each other? And what you'll find is that there are people who really just don't do this, who just as soon as there's a little bit of problem, they retreat and go, well, I'm just gonna go to me, my family. And then what ends up happening is with their family, they get divorced, It gets the number gets smaller and smaller. You don't ever learn to resolve a concern. Eventually, you lose your kids. You then lose your spouse. Like it just you just retreat and retreat and retreat and retreat, and you don't learn to resolve conflict. Doctrine and Covenants 50 verse 20. Wherefore, whoso receiveth you receiveth me, for he that receiveth my servants receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth my Father. This understanding that like we can agree with each other. We can work through each other. Right? It's not just a direct line, right? Wherefore, whoso receiveth my words receiveth me, for my words shall all be given unto you. Right? So the Lord's pattern for unity: receive with a willing heart. Whoso receiveth me receiveth me. Listen to the words. So we have to have the desire. This is how we resolve conflict. We have to have a desire first and foremost. We have to be willing to listen. And primarily listen to what? The words of God, the pyramid of truth. We have to we have to be willing to submit to something that's above us. And we have to be able to understand one another, understanding that we're both united on the same thing. And then we have to reach that point of edification together, where both are edified. And by the way, this is how with problem solving, that's one of the best places to find edification. I have an issue with somebody. We talk it out. We both come to some sort of agreement. Oh, you're right. Okay. Yep. I will do this, you will do that, and we will be one again. Perfect. And then all of a sudden, there's this moment of edification where you're both happy. You both fought. You both had this bad thing happen, but yet now you've reached this point of where you're both happy again. Why? Because you have literally resolved the concern. You've reached that point of edification where you're now one again. And when you're one, that's when real edification occurs. And we only usually think about this with terms of teaching, but it's the same concept. You're a missionary, you're teaching somebody who doesn't know, who doesn't understand. So there is still a conflict. They don't understand something, they don't know. You're teaching, you're trying to get this understanding, and then finally you both get it and you both arrive at the same point. It's the same idea. You both had two different minds. Now you have one mind. So you've resolved something. And then you rejoice together. Then there's that moment where, we friends at first or friends at last, right? So you get that moment where there's that rejoicing where it's like we both understand each other, our minds are one. And then that's how we become one heart, one mind, and we keep it that way, right? And when we appeal to a common source of truth, patiently listen, seek to understand, and allow all to be edified, then Zion can exist. This is how that process works. So the way of Zion is seeks truth, not victory, listens before speakings, appeals to revelation in scripture, not personal, not their spiritometers, desires to understand, willing to be corrected, builds unity and trust, brings peace and joy. The way of contention is they seek to win. They don't seek to understand. Or they seek to defend or self-justify their behavior, right? They're priestcraft. They seek to defend or, or cover their sins, as it says in Doctrine and Covenants 121. They speak over others. They appeal to feelings, influencers, or personal opinions. They refuse correction. They cling to being right. And it brings division and pain. And so the commitment this week is, how about we focus more and spend more time on improving our ability to resolve problems perfectly. You don't have to be perfect, right? We're going to get there, but you know what we can do? We can resolve problems perfectly, and that is something that we can do. As Moroni said, we need to come unto Christ and be perfect in Christ. And so this is how we can be perfect in Christ, by learning how to resolve problems perfectly.
The proper peacemakers, eh?
Proper peacemaker. That's it.
Nice. Love it.
Amen. And the opposite of this is you just give yourself a reason to cut and run from everyone, anywhere, at all times for your whole life.
Yep.
It's just
reckon
the
we all
opposite
know
of what
people
we're
like
supposed to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Somebody offended me, and I'm out.
Cool. Yep, cool. There's your permission, and no one can
Yep.
say anything. And there's absolutely no reason why that's not unreasonable at all.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. That's it.
Amen to that.
Amen. Does that wrap us up, big dogs?
You got us.
You made it.
And thank you once again. For those of you who clicked on the link accidentally and have made it through all the way till now, please comment so we know that you exist. We would love to see it. We'd love to know about it. Thanks for joining us once again from your, favorite or least favorite, three
mothers.
Soul Mothers, and we love you guys. We will catch you again live at 5 or another appropriate time next week, and we'll see you again real soon.